youth of the country, I think it's about time we speak the facts because if we're gonna be shy for the facts and we're gonna be shy away from the facts, for the longest time we have been not facing the facts. And sometimes you wonder why. Is it because of ourselves as individual people? Or this gets the might of its application from the collective, what we could call collective ignorance, something like that. It's unclear, but it's been like a too much long time. The way we are so scared or despiseful of facts, it is so concerning. The way that human beings don't like facts, it's very concerning. Like, what happened to facts and you? Why did you fight? What did you guys fight for? Talking about facts, I loved facts, and I used to do a job that wanted me to consider facts so much. In fact, my job was to find facts and tell people facts. Sometimes, as I worked through my job, later on I realized that, oh, wait a moment, why does it look like I create facts? That got to me because I got to think about it. And I was like, okay, where does it look like I create facts? Or rather, where does it look like I could collect opinions and put them together and made a fact out of it? It happened like that as I worked through. So if you could ask many media officers, they will tell you that. I'm talking about people that program media, not people that are work in the media, but that program it, but truly program it. Okay, they will tell you the scary fact about facts and the scary fact about opinion. Ah, interesting. I think sometimes we've been doing this for too long, but at least we should try and get little bit of little bit of space of like maybe 40% of consideration of facts, or at least just use consider the remaining about 40% of facts that at least we necessarily need right now. We necessarily need right now. So, you know, you see, I want to talk to young people. I want to talk to young people because the future of the economies are not promising to continue give what it's been giving in the previous times, couple of years, 20 years, 30 years, 50, 40 years, 100 years, 200 years ago. And it's going to be important to, if you're an adult and you have children, you must be able to then decide how your children are going to earn money. You must decide today how your children are going to earn money. I'm not talking about your children are going to be educated and they're going to go to university and they're going to get a good job. I'm not talking about that because that is not so guaranteeing. It's not guaranteeing. I want you to understand, okay? I want you to understand that even that is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. It is a situation that we need to create, not a situation that we need to wait for it to unfold. It cannot be wait to unfold. You see, I want to tell you something. Technology unfolds. The use of it is decided by the people. Every type of innovation that can happen, it will never stop. It will keep on being innovated, and it will just innovate forever. Forever. But do people create systems that sustain themselves forever? Oh well, maybe it would never happen that they could sustain themselves forever somehow in a form of their lives. Maybe some couple of times, couple of years. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Because we've been here for too long, and seemingly we do not learn the things that we are here to learn. Or we learn and we sell the education about the things that we are supposed to learn and to teach. Okay? And we make free and compulsory the education that is miseducation. We make it free and compulsory, and is the one that we implement into the system. That is the education that is not only useful but harmful as well. Very harmful. Harmful to the people, harmful to the very people that are being given that education. And harmful to the people who are supposed to receive what's supposed to be the fruits of that education. Yeah. So if we are not able to take actions against this and bring some form of solutions to it, all we could do is to complain about something. Make sure there's something is not wrong there, something is wrong there. Oh, look at that one. But if we're not gonna put actions and we are not gonna work on applying solutions to problems, or rather challenges, let's call them, the things that which at least ensures that your children will be here and will be able to live in a better place, and the children of their children. Somebody will be like, no, you're gonna be a granddaddy then, so who cares? Well, you do not know. You do not know. What you should make important is you create a place that will be livable. The life of your children and the children of their children will be able to live. Isn't it that world is created by us? Are we not the ones who are creating the world? Are we not the ones who are creating the lives that they're gonna live? The challenges that they might have? A certain portion of that is in our control as a collective society. It is. Now it's important then to understand the reason why we need construction of our society. It's simple. If you want to ensure survival, if you want to still be around, I mean, if you do not want to be around, then that's fine. Okay? It's okay. It's okay. You can decide so. But meanwhile, you're gonna have children, you're gonna be adults, you're gonna do the things. So you therefore need to create a situation that which the way in which you enjoy your so very nice and good life, you are able to create that situation for the future generations. And if you see something that needs to assist somebody about, that somebody's gonna come across. Important then to do that. You see? So we have a group of people, group of young people that we enroll in sort of education, or rather courses, okay? Courses about how to make money online, some form of courses that we use to see how we can be able to, it's almost like a research, okay? But it is an activity that we do, okay? But this is important because we need to understand how we can be able to restructure how we earn income, how people are going to be making income. But if you happen to come across this video right now and you happen to maybe live in South Africa, I want you to understand something. It is mandated for you. It is almost compulsory, okay? You almost have no choice but to really seek ways in which you could find an independent, alternative way of income, especially if you're somebody else who's so very much been dependent on your job, the work that you do as an employed, specifically, or more even by private sector. And my question is this, that what are you gonna do as soon as this, what is beginning to happen, takes off? You need to at least know you've got some form of self-sufficient, you've got enough resources. This is very important, I'm telling you. You must make sure you got enough resources. Because somebody else in the radio is not going to tell you this. Because it's not even going to tell you that you might be in a situation where you can lose your resources. Whatever resources you have, depending on where those resources invested. Where those resources invested. And what is the sustainability of where your resources are invested? Okay, so clearly what I'm trying to say is you find yourself either in two situations. It's either you find yourself in a situation where you have to reinvest your resources, or a situation where you have to even start to create those resources and at least know that these resources they can guarantee you some form of survival. When that seems to be peaking, whenever it starts to peak, then it's going to become a problem. Then you will find yourself in different kind of situations. The reason when there would be something like I remember in 2002, 2020, during coronavirus, okay? During coronavirus, when I was watching people go around breaking in the malls, breaking in the shops, in order to get food, okay? Not because there were some anarchists of sort, but because those people were hungry, okay? Like truly hungry, like realistically hungry. They were realistically hungry. Not they were hungry as reported by a journalist, okay? No, as seen and as felt. Okay? Now, when I watch those people, then in my eyes, in my head, I was thinking, oh, okay. That's because they could not be able to have enough resources for what's going on. The reason people did not have means was because they could not have resources that can sustain them during the course of closure of shops, of business, of stuff, closure of work, and all that stuff, cut off jobs and stuff. Okay, so people could not be able to prepare for that circumstance so that they can survive at that time. And that's why people, they were taking the food. You think people can risk bullets, being shot by police and all these things, and when they get there, they got to go to get some eggs and some meal. They were hungry for sure. They were hungry. Whether they should go and take it, or they should, I don't know, ask for it, or they should have gotten it, I don't know how, or they should have died, I don't know. Died of hunger. Either died of hunger or died from the police bullet. Either way. So whether the way in which it happened was good or was not good, was bad or was not bad, that's a debate. That's a debate. That's something can be debated. You see? But whether they're supposed to eat or not is a fact. That they're supposed to eat, the people they're supposed to eat. Now, when you're a leader and when you are leaders, that's when you are able to realize the situation and say, wait a moment, then how do we prevent a situation where people are going to face this type of situation? Now they are forced to disobey the law, and they're forced to act like how they act against the law. Now, that's when you need to then check your leadership. Go back and check your leadership. How is it happening? How are you handling your things? As somebody who's a leadership of a society or leadership of politicians, for example. I mean, politicians, they've positioned themselves into being the leaders of a society. Isn't it the politicians, they the people that they say they can lead us? They say they are the leaders of society. They position themselves there from in the 16th centuries. Well, these are 16th centuries, guys, right? Yes, these are the 16th, 18th, so they become more popular in the 17th centuries. You see, from the Bolshevik, the Russians, down the Americans, and in the Far East. And well, Africa is the one that is the latest to the game of politics, in a sense of still new to this. You are so very much active with politics inside the continent, but you are still new to the platform of politics on the international stage in as far as understanding the concept is concerned. Understanding the concept of it. What exactly is this and how it's supposed to happen? Because I'm saying that I always wondered, why would it be the politicians that are the ones that are leaders of society? I'm not saying they should not be, but why therefore shouldn't be something where people then we get to understand there's a way in which you qualify to lead a society. Not you qualify, but even if you volunteer, it's okay for your volunteer. We want the volunteer, we would like it. Okay? But is there a way in which we can ensure that this is how and who we would like our society to emulate and to lead based on the vision of seeing whoever that's leading the society of their ideas? What are their ideas? What do they want to lead our society with? In which ideas are they running our society or in leadership of our society? In which ideas? Okay? I'm not talking about policies. I'm not talking about policies and manifesto and mandates and political things, okay? I'm not talking about those stuff. I'm talking about the people who are supposed to be leading us, the actual people. not exactly what is it that they agreed on, then they stand for together, whatever the case may be. That's a different, that's business. Let's call it business, okay? I'm talking about the individual people that are leading us. What kind of a person are you? What's going on with you? Why are you acting the way that you're acting? Why are you behaving that way? You know you're a society leader, but you act like that. What's up? What's going on? What's up with these people? What's going on with them? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? You see, now I'm saying, One other man, long time ago, you know what he said to me? He said something like, the the animal kingdom looks for the the wisest or bravest leadership of the from the animals that are leading that. Okay, could be any particular animal kingdom that needs leadership. I guess all of them needs leadership. I mean, the deers needs leadership too, don't they? The sheep need leaderships too. The buffaloes. You see, the buffalo grew up in being attacked by the lion until it became very strong. Like it can really almost fight with the lion, And the buffalo can actually fight with the lion and kill the lion. It happens. He said, the animal kingdom, they're looking for the smartest or the wisest one to lead the pack. But the humans, they are looking for the dumb ones to lead the pack. And I got to think about that. I was like, okay, the damn one. Then I started to look at my leaderships and the people that I say they are my leaders, and I was like, okay, let me check you. Are you guys dumb? Are you guys dumb? I checked that, okay? I don't know. I did not check local leadership. I checked just about how the world generally, even globally. Who are the people that are leading this world, even globally? Okay? And you see that sometimes not so much smart people. And I'm talking about the people who make decisions about our day-to-day lives. And or rather the decision that they make, they affect the day-to-day people's lives. The people that set the policies, they're kind of like crazy. I don't understand it. There's almost like a divide between the actual psychology of life and the people who are implementing things that people are supposed to live through those particular laws and even what you call this norms. Okay, even norms. That sort of thing. So I'm drifting back to the way in which we understand leadership, and that should be okay. So it's important to inquire about leadership and revise leadership. Revise it. Check it. If it is it the one that is supposed to be in order to achieve that is supposed to achieve. You revise it. You check it out. No, it's not the one. How do we do that? How do we redo it? How do we figure this out? Well, if it's possible, I guess maybe from a business perspective, hardly possible in terms of other structures of society leadership. I'm saying, because like I'm saying, sometimes we would like to speak about leadership of society, but we end up having to talk about politicians because they position themselves to be the leaders of society. And now we don't know who exactly is the leader of society. Now we look up to them and we look at them, it's like, hey, come here, we need leadership, why aren't you? I'm saying that we need to re-look into who exactly must be leadership of society. Isn't it politicians are like the administrators of the government kind of structure? They're gonna be the ones that are connecting with the government and blah blah blah, something like that. But that's a different thing from and I'm not talking about politicians, the people. I'm talking about politics, the structure. Okay? That would be different from leadership to the people. Because government and the people are not they work, not government so much, but let's say those that are in control of the money and those that they make this control of the money possible, which is the consumers of it, of the economies, which we generally call them the people. They hardly work together as in a synchronized manner of balance. they usually work in a sense whereby those that control the money, they control and dominate the other people that do not, that they are the consumers of the money. But the philosophy of the economies was so that we can be able to exchange goods and services and live. But that's not what is happening. It's not exchanging goods and services right now. Right now is other people trampling on other people enslaving other people. That's what it is. Why don't we sell goods and services across and we trade nicely like people and not use foolish ideas in the trading, in the marketplace? You see? We become grown-ups. We become grown-ups in the marketplace. Because in the marketplace, anything else can happen. People could walk with guns in the marketplace. They walk with the guns in the marketplace. They can. You see? But it's all about how we regulate our marketplace. That's how we regulate it. How do we want it to be? Because anything else can happen. You see? It's not like because it's a marketplace, then certain things cannot happen. Anything else can happen in the marketplace, but we need to regulate it the way that we want it to be so that it can be a fair marketplace. A fair marketplace. And we are in the marketplace for trading, not for intimidation, for trading. Now, I think, so I'm saying we need to relook into how we conduct our economies and our structures of employment and income. How we need to rethink about income and young people. That will be the inheritance of the very much near future. From next year, 2025 is the near future. Is the near future next year? It is. It is. Okay? So now we need to now understand that we can create myths of that nature. Moving much into understanding how our technology works, understanding how we can be able to harness the development of technology, not reject it, and not fight it, but work with it. Work with it. Learn how it works, how we can work with it in order to create self-sufficient and sustainability. I'm saying the difference with now and the near future is there will be more people that are not supposed to be employed, and there will be nobody employing anybody. And you're not going to say, oh, you got to employ me. I've listened to people, then they talk. When we see my man, they talk about jobs. Yeah, we're going to create jobs, so much jobs, so much jobs. They just say this thing because people would like to hear that. And people feel good to hear that. They feel consoled and hopeful to hear that. And also they feel like, oh, there's somebody who's got these intentions to do something like this for us. And we are told that this is a solution. And we believed it. And I'm not saying it's not the solution. However, what is the practical ways of how we're doing that? Not only the talk about it in the mouth, but what is the practical way of we doing that? Okay, are you gonna come up with a concept that somebody else in 1945 came up, in 1960 came up, 1970 came up, 1980, 1990, 2005, 2010? Because we are addressing the future. We are not responding much to the past. We are addressing the future because the past would not matter right now. Would really not matter. Yeah, would not matter. So I'm not saying that we should not consider the history and consider what could have happened and what happened. Obviously, surely we should. All I'm saying is you can do something for the future much efficiently, and it's more possible and more fun than to undo something that has been done in terms of in term of the reality that happened. I'm not talking about in term of undoing, let's say, a legislation, then rechanging the legislation. Yes, you can, and that's what we need to do. But can you reverse what happened? No, you cannot reverse what happened. You cannot reverse what happened. And why I'm saying this is because I'm trying to say that this needs to be done with good faith. It's not needs to be done because of emotional sympathy or something. It needs to be done for the fact that then it would make sense for the marketplace. It would make sense for the marketplace. I just want to tell you something, that if right now the people who are the ones that are using money to buy stuff can stop buying stuff and stop using the money to buy stuff, there won't be economy. There's not going to be economy. And there's not going to be rich people. There's not going to be rich. The other ones that are rich and the other ones. That's not going to be there. Alright? If that scenario happens. Why am I saying this? I'm saying it because I want the ability to be able to understand that the marketplace has something that needs to be a respect in between those that are in the supply of the money and those that are the ones that are using the money in order to do the economy. I'm saying, because otherwise your own system will collapse. It's your own system, but you might collapse your own system. It's your own system. Basically, I'm advising you on your own system because it's gonna collapse on you. Now that's important. My ideas is how we can be able to fast track education, transform education in as far as income is concerned, money is concerned, so work is concerned. We need not to talk about how the industries are changing, but also re-engineer the education system, I'm saying. And this has been said many times. This has been said many times. I don't know if the people where we're talking about this, do they take this serious? They just think, these people are bluffing. I don't know. For some reasons you wonder when you say about something like this, has somebody else really sat down and asked themselves and be like, okay, but wait a moment. Clearly this way in which what we know, how we are being educated, what we know, it's not conducive even for the humans. Not that it's gonna create some any issue if that is to be discovered. I'm trying to understand what would be the consequence of reforming the education to a justifiable application, to a justifiable means. Also, I wonder, are there people that are analyzing the way in which analyzing the outcomes of the education, and they just like chop chop, it's good, that's how we want it to be, the outcomes of it? Who are those people that are watching the outcomes of the education system, and they kind of like the observers of, okay, this is good so far, this is what we want to achieve as the world, this is what we want to achieve as a country A, country X, country Z. Whether you far east, whether you north, whether you east or you north, you south, you central. Do you ask yourself that? Because apparently it looks like only if the education results in people having to have jobs and working and buying food so they don't starve and die from hunger, and they've got big cars and big houses and they got security for in case some other guy comes around wanna bomb them or wanna shoot them, or somebody at a big scale, okay? At a small scale is somebody breaking your house and stealing stuff in your house. you know, stealing the kids. I don't know. So, so, so you can prevent yourself from all of those things. Seemingly, it seems like the education, if it can covers that part, then we are fine. Really? I don't think so. I think there's more that we need to get out of education. Not only the fact that we are gonna buy food and big groceries at the end of the month when we get paid a lot of money. It's not because of that. The money is there. You can get the money in whichever way you want to get the money. I'm saying I'm saying that money, isn't it money so that we can get the food? The food are not produced by education. The food are produced by the planet. Are produced by the fucking planet, not the education. Okay? Excuse my French. But that's the thing. The food are produced by the planet, and education is supposed to be there to help people to be able to live here. Not to survive, but to live here. To live. Okay? Not to survive. Now, if you start to take education, you make it to be for the thing for to be survived, then you're messing around with the whole thing. And now people are gonna be educated in order to survive. And how do you do that? You become a very stupid thing. And that's why now that friend of mine tells me that human beings are want to become the dumber ones. Why you want to be the dumber ones? And now you say you are smart, but you're doing the dumb things. All the other animals are not doing dumb things. You are doing the dumb things. You do the dumb things. You put a structure, you put yourself in that structure that will confuse you. And not because there's no other way that you can structure your lives. There's a way to structure your lives, and there's a natural way. It's not, you don't even have to devise it so much. There's not too much concept that must supposed to happen in us, how we live. There's not too much concepts. We come up with concepts to live, not to survive. They just connected a little bit, surviving and living. They just connected, and that blurry line, that middle connection should not necessarily be where we live, I'm saying. We need to clearly be able to distinguish the two, that we need to have the education so that we can know how to live better as people here. For the education. And then, of course, we'll need education for skill in order to be able to achieve certain things in terms of our development, in terms of our infrastructure development, scientific development, technology development, could be even medical development. There's not much to do in medical development because there's been medical development for the longest time. And medical does not need the direction of development that is taken right now, because it's not medical development. It's a development of a business system in the use of medical industries or development, and then the same kind of like application finds itself in many industries, finds itself in many places where we sectors. It finds itself in many sectors where there's more development of how do we acquire more money through this, other than how do we develop this for the achievement of the purpose of that establishment. Even the university wants to make more money than it wants to facilitate what it used to be the reason for it to exist in terms of the long time development of what it was supposed to be. The university is a concept that was created in order to facilitate a certain duty, service to humanity. It was not put as a place where people, they must pay money and then they spend many years, and then after they spend many years they come out of the door, then they get a paper, they graduated, hey, hello, graduated, get a job there, and they get you foundation, they pay them money, they working, now they wake up every day, go there, place every day until they older. I don't know if it happens that you get there, okay, and that's it. I don't know if the story still continues from there. Maybe it does continue. They come back from that work, they tired, they very emotionally not okay. They fought with the manager because he disrespect the hell out of somebody, or he fought with the junior guy because he thinks like he's junior and you are my senior or whatever. Then you fought, then you got stress, you go home, you got stress, you fight with all the other people that they did not stress you because you stressed at work, and you're miserable and you're crazy. You probably start to drink a lot, smoke a lot, whatever. uh, I once had a conversation with a lady that we used to know each other. Okay, this lady, we have a conversation. She works for a company, a bank. All right, one nice bank, the Red Bank. Okay. Now I ask her, so so why are you guys smoking a lot? Because I always when I go to their office, all of them they smoke. All of them they smoke at the same time. They smoke at almost like the same way. They everybody got like a pack of 20 cigarettes, everybody, or 40 or cartoon. Okay? And you smoke like it's almost like the smoking and working, they're supposed to go together for sure. The way that I observed it. Okay? The entire bank staff, almost like about hundreds of people, 300 people, all of them outside smoking at the same time. And when they go outside, they go, like they work at a certain period of time, they go outside, or they're smoking, all of them. And I was like, what? That's crazy. Let me have a chat with her. And then we talked. So what's up? What's with that? And she did not hide it. She said, we get too stressed. And that's why we're smoking a lot while we're working. Our work is so stressed. She said, our job is so stressing. I just thought about that. I was like, wow, flip. And you do this Monday to Friday. Yeah, Monday to Friday. And no wonder why people are happy to have a weekend. No wonder why weekend is so popular. Hey, it's Friday, it's weekend, it's Sunday, it's Saturday. People are happy for that because that's the time when maybe they're not really being stressed about something that they do during the course of the week. And the whole thing is the other way around, because I feel like you must have a long chunk of your week that is good, and a small maybe that is bad. Not small that is good and a lot chunk that is bad. How do we fix this? We can be able to create systems of economies that responds to the livelihood of people right now, instead of applying a method that was necessary in 18th century, in 17th century, in 16th century, most particularly in 19th century. Because most of the system in the economy, it's mostly 19th century. Yes. Okay. So now and 19th century, there was so much demand of human activity. I don't know. Maybe somebody would say, even now, there's so much demand of development human activity. I don't know. I don't know. I think right now what's important is how people, they can really find out how to live here. How to live here. I think that should be emergency. How to live. Unless if it doesn't matter at all. Maybe it doesn't matter, does it? I'm speaking to young people. How are you ensuring to be focused on the future of income, the future of how money will be moving around, how you're going to be earning money? If it happens tomorrow that somebody else might announce not to have you anymore working there for your job, they decide maybe they're closing down the company, or worst case scenario, I want you to study where the economy, the currency is, and obviously the seeming collapse, okay, or of the monetary system. Okay, might take a little bit longer on a larger scale, But usually people just make decisions. They just make decisions, and maybe something else can be implemented after a certain decision has been made. And now you are there affected. You're affected by a certain decision that somebody has made. I said this before. That somebody else make a decision and it affects you. And this does not mean they shouldn't have made that decision. But they had to, but it's unfortunately is affecting you. Where are you gonna be? What are you gonna do? Because you cannot change the circumstance, but you can be able to prepare for in case something of that nature happens. I'll give an example about 2020, where people, they were not prepared for any closure, anything else of the shops and elder stuff. It happened that those that were sufficient had money and had resources to stock up and they had food in their houses. They could not go outside and go break in the malls and take food by means of crime. They could not do it because they had means, they had the food. But those that did not have it, there's no way that that's why they went out to steal the food and take the food forcefully. It's because they did not prepare. There was no resources that they stocked on. There was no resources they have. So I'm saying, I'm not talking about stocking resources right now. I'm talking about how are you going to prove your income? How are you going to prepare for the transition of AI and super digitization of every process of our lives and business? How are you going to be able to propel that? Because if I talk about young people starting their own businesses, I know that sometimes somebody might mean, yeah, you're talking about even stocking up veggies and selling veggies, okay? Also, you're talking about opening up a bakery. Yes. Also, you're talking about maybe opening a liquor store. Talking about baking or talking about selling clothes. Yes. I'm talking about all of that, okay? But my point exactly, I'm talking about sustainable businesses. Businesses that they need to be attached to the bigger corporate industry, and they need to be attached to the bigger public service industry. And those businesses, they need to be run by young people and need to have some individualistic feeling to those type of businesses. Because if we are not going to do this, we are still going to find ourselves in an old Russian style of setting, and the early American style also, and the later Chinese style as well, because somehow it's almost like a common thing that popped up in the 19th century. So all the arrangement of job and economy was just pretty much the same across the world. Okay? But it is the time when you have collapsed that you can be able to rebuild. Because it's not easy to rebuild when the structure is still stable and you're still living in it. But when it has completely collapsed and you lost it, there's no structure, it's time to take the opportunity to build properly and to build with the concept that which bears in mind the future. That's how the olden day architectures would design stuff, would design something to last for a longer time. So now we are in a phase of redesigning our economies. Now we need to redesign our economies bearing in mind the future, not the past. Because the past we can no longer match the past. Because the past was a bit more, was too emotional. The past was too emotional, and the relationship in between master-slave was what made the economies. But now we're not going to have master-slave relationships. We are going to have trading relationship where you probably really need my skill in order to perform that, or you need certain thing truly needed in order for you to propel or to do whatever you want to achieve. It's not going to be a situation where they will be master slave, and then it makes up the economy because this one stands up and watch this one work and produce the money, give him the money, and then he's got a lot of money. He's got less money, then he has to come back to work, generate the money, and then when he generated the money, he gives him the money, and then he gives him salary. This one has got more money. This one has got salary, and he work, something like that. And they've got the lawyer here who enforce this thing, and they've got the policeman here who's watching if the lawyer is enforcing that. If he's not enforcing that, he's got a problem with him. Also, if he's not enforcing that, this guy is going to complain, and when he complains, this police guy is going to be like, hey, you, shut up, don't complain. This is the law. You're supposed to do the law, okay? And if you don't do the law, I might arrest you, put you in prison here. Because here in prison is also the law for you to live here if you don't obey this law. Somewhere here, okay? You might break another law inside here. We remain here. It doesn't matter what you did here, but all people that broke the law come to this place called prison. There's no prison for somebody who broke law by a certain reason of no. He said something, let's say defamation. He defamed somebody. Okay, hardly people get arrested for defaming, right? But let's say something that's not crime, violent crime, or whatever. But people all put in jail. My point is that if people put in jail for breaking the law, it doesn't matter which law. Okay? So, and the law also does not allow itself to be questioned in a way. Like, oh no, the law is unlawful, or the law is unjust. Yeah, that's the right way. The law is unjust because largely the law, I don't know if the people that make law know that law can be unjust, or people who are citizens and everybody else, they know that the law can be unjust. Because a law is something that is set so you can obey it, right? It's not like a nature that if you disobey, then you are disobeying nature. The law is something which is being put so that we can be able to follow it, so that we can live together. But when the law is unjust, or when it favors somebody else, it doesn't favor somebody else, then clearly the law is not able to achieve what the concepts of law in the first time, in the beginning, was all about. Because the concept of law, of regulation, of creating law, was to be able to create a just situation for humans. Otherwise, we're not going to be just, okay? We're probably going to be like just, grabbing each other stuff in the road where we walk around and just, I don't know how we're going to live, okay? I don't know how we're going to live. Because we are so many. Imagine if we live like animals and these numbers that we have in the whole world. Somebody be like, already we living like animals, dude. I think we do. But my point is that the law is supposed to achieve justice. Not is supposed to achieve the desires of the one who gets the benefits of it. It's a dumb concept if that's the whole point. Dumb concept. I said in another video, I said somebody who liked to eat food a lot would say, oh yeah, I ate the food, I'm glad I ate the food, and you did not eat food. The point is not to eat the food. The point is to live here, not to eat the food. But you can't live if you don't eat food, huh? You can eat food and still live. What's the debate about? What's the debate about? Another friend of mine once told me something. He said to me, I think he wrote a poem. He was telling me about a poem that he wrote. He wrote a poem, or something like that, or his friend brought a poem. And the poem talks about something where it says the human beings are so happy because they've kept a dead meat inside the fridge, and they make the freezer freeze it so that they don't want to see it bleed. So they make themselves forget that I have a dead meat bleeding in that place, or around me where I live, because the fridge is where we live, right? Yeah. In the house. So we created the freezer so that it can help us to manage our expectation about not having to see the bleeding of this animal that he kept in the fridge. That kept me thinking. That kept me thinking that, yeah, yes, we do. Yes, we do. So certain things we do them because we find ourselves in a situation where we cannot be able to handle them. Okay, that we can just let them do that way. There's no way in which we can say, well, this is how we are supposed to live in the whole world in the same way, or whatever the case may be. Okay, but it is important to understand that everybody needs some form of income. If at all it happened for you to be born and to be here, you need some form of income. There must be money coming to you so it can maintain you, that it can be with you somehow. So because the adult people are the people who they think better than young people, we hope so, are the ones that are supposed to discuss the income issue and be able to take part in the income activities to produce income, so that those that are dependent on them, they can be able to have food. I don't know, this is a very easy concept, but why is it difficult for other people that cannot let other people have income? Or they create systems that only direct income to a certain other people and not other people. Easy concept, but it's still difficult to understand. Why is it difficult? My proposal is that we need, if indeed the government is established to help the people and to work out challenges of the people, they represent the people. I challenge the government to create a situation where they create a system that will decentralize income of people, and it will be a situation where people, they can get income from the suggestions that we have, which is the suggestions of people. They can be able to use their own ways of life to generate income. You do not have to wake up in the morning, go to the university for 10 years, 5 years, whatever, to go get certificate in order to come back and look for a job. And somebody must employ you. Under their mercy, you can have food, I'm saying. But why would you have under somebody mercy you can have food? That's not the design of this. It's not the design of it. It's not really the design of it. I'm just saying at a larger scale. I mean, people who talk about you must be valuable in order to earn money. You must be valuable. Yeah, that's cool, fine, that's okay. We're talking about education for skill. I can perform a certain skill. I can do this. I can do that. That's a skill. That's fine, but not necessarily that the design of education must be so directed to so that people, they can earn money. Even if it's a cool thing, but it causes harm, because now it makes people forget who they are. It makes people forget how life actually works here. What's going on? It makes people just think that they get educated so that they can buy food. The food is not produced by education or the school or the degree. The food is produced by the goddamn planet. I think we took competition way too far. We took competition way too far. Yeah, we took it too far. Again, I don't know. Maybe somebody will be like, no, I tried to say we should not have billionaires and millionaires and stuff. Not really. I consider myself a capitalist than a socialist. I consider myself a capitalist. I love capitalism. I love capitalism than socialism. Precisely because capitalism is real and socialism is not real. Socialism is like an illusion. It only takes place in people that are not in touch with the reality, or they're scared of being in touch with the reality. They have wishes in their head. They live as if those wishes will ever be, and ignoring the reality that is going on at that present moment. So socialism is completely out of. It's an idea. It's an idea. It's an ideal. It's an ideal, let's call it. But capitalism is a one that which, in terms of descript, is a one which our society can be built from, because it would not deny the fact that every human being needs money, needs more. Everybody will always want more. Okay? So we can't run from that. We cannot think all of a sudden we're going to implement a socialism where other people don't want more. Every people will always want more. Even the people that are advocating socialism, they use advocating socialism to gather wealth and money and popularity and influence. Tell me somebody who's advocating socialism in terms of representation of that ideology at a larger level, which largely are politicians, even other business people. If they're business people, that they cannot be able to scale their business. If they're politicians, they cannot be able to implement anything else, any ideas that they have, because they're not gonna go together with the actual reality of the marketplace. So it just so happened that capitalism has got people who are not wiser to think what is the establishment of the system in the first place. Because if at all economies should continue to grow the whole time. I did not do economics, but there's something which is called whatever it is, that the economy grows the whole time. It's supposed to grow the whole time. Okay, it's not supposed to go down. And I wanted to understand how does that become like a universal thing, because I realized that it's not a universal, it's not adapted from a universal law of a certain kind. It's a man-made system or created system. And that's what I'm saying, that it's not safe from crashing at any point at any time. And if again, you see what the crazy thing about this man-made system is, that they, even if it crashes, it crashes, and it gets to be even picked up by the same people who created it. So it's almost like it never crashed. It's almost like it never crashed, because even the people that are the consumers, they don't even understand when we say the economy that crashed. They don't even understand. All they're looking for is just a small money so they can be able to buy food and sleep and eat food and buy a car, But they not caring about the actual movement of the money structure, okay, or structures. But if we're not going to be able to rescue our economies and our industries, then we're going to find ourselves in trouble. Both in trouble of people being in a situation of unemployable, completely unemployable, because the people are not going to be employed and nobody's going to employ them. Also, there's going to be a shortage of what is it to be done. People are not going to have anything else to do in order to call it a job. Isn't it a job? Is there's something to do? Then you go ahead and do it. Then you get paid for it. So if there's nothing to do, then there's no job. So basically, when they say there's no jobs, we must say like there's nothing to do. And now the question I'm asking you, we just said to the other video, say it is not possible that there's no jobs. There's no jobs is a creation of somebody. Naturally, there is a job all the time, always. It's just a question of who directs the resources where, and how does the resources get to be sectioned and shared amongst. In that would be the controller of jobs. Isn't it? You get paid for doing something that somebody feels should be paid for. Unless if jobs is not that concept. If it's that concept, then there's always there's more jobs than people. If that's the case, it's only natural to think so. That there's more jobs than people. In fact, there will never be any time where the number of people, the number of where people can be almost like more than jobs, in a sense. Like there's no jobs. I don't understand the whole idea. There's no jobs. There's no people that work to create jobs. I don't know if the government have got like an office. I'm not talking about like local government, the local government, or even the national government. Do they have like an office where they say, well, this office deals with something to do with jobs, not like the Department of Labor or something, but this office really has got people who are in touch, smarter people that are in touch with, okay, this is the whole idea about jobs. Last time you hear about jobs, you hear from politicians. And politicians, I don't know if politicians, they work, what is their job? What do they work in their office? Like, what do they do exactly? What is the job of politicians? I don't know. What is the job of politicians? Like, baspana, bachunai. Exactly. Like, when they get into office, what do they do? Okay, they probably do political stuff, like send around emails of politicians to another politicians. I don't know. Like, what is the thing that they do that they get paid for? Somebody said they get paid for politicking. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's good. Maybe that's fine. Maybe you must politic and get paid. Maybe it's a job. I mean, since it's an industry, right? So it's a job. I don't know. What is my point? My point, I'm not dissing on politicians. I'm just saying that there must be experts who knows how to do things, that they must be hired to do things, and not get somebody who does not do that job, or somebody who say that they talk a lot about doing that job, but they're not the ones who are doing the job. I don't understand why should we do that. I don't understand why we should have understand that there's the people. I don't even know if somebody can understand where I'm trying to go with this. That there's people here who are the ones that are running the economy, and there's people here who are the ones who make decisions about the money. They are so much close with the people that print money and disperse money. And then we have these people here who are the ones who they get the money essentially from here, even if it goes through a whole lot of process to end up getting in their hands. They have to sweat for it. Okay, of course they have to sweat for it. And this was supposed to work, produce the money, work, and make the money run and happen, take the loans and pay them back, and this, that. Do this, get paid, work and paid salary, spend it to buy some techies and some TVs, big large TV and cars and stuff and all these things, and buy. I'm not saying some they don't buy books or some they buy books, but if you buy lots of books, soon you'll be transported to this side. And so probably I'm not talking about you. Probably I'm not talking about you. Okay, so my thing is that, so we've got this structure, and then the narrative is as if it must be that way. That should not be the narrative. The young children in the future, we must not teach them that this is how life work. This scenario is not how life work. Life work in a sense that you come across as a people that you found yourself here in this world. You have to trade. You have to trade what you have. I've got this. What do you have? We are trading that. Okay, I've got skill. You have money. Pay for my skill. Okay, I have a certain product. You have money. Buy my product if you need it. I have got connection about this. I can put it together to facilitate this service. Okay, you pay money for this service, or I can offer this service. Or I'm talking about trading. I'm talking about trading in its all aspects. Because if we're not gonna embrace this and start to go back to these basics of it, we will live in this world of joblessness. Especially, I'm talking about South Africa, because South Africa seemingly does not have a single person that is looking after this country. It does not have people that have got same interest. We don't have same interest as a nation. We've got other people that have that interest, and other people that have got different interest altogether. There's so much divide on what we need, and this is a reality. This is not propaganda of telling people that we are united, we are one. It's okay. We must be able to tell the children that, okay? But not us adults. Us adults, we must acknowledge the truth and say, okay, check this out. We are so divided in our interest about this country, where nobody is solely taking responsibility or taking deciding with a compassion in relation to the love that they have for the country. You know, and when you say love for the country, I'm not talking about loving the mountains and Table Mountain, beautiful, the sea, their property, houses. Because when you say you love South Africa, you see people, they took pictures, they shoot the land around and they shoot their thing. They say, here with this South Africa, we love South Africa. That's how I travel here. Do you see? I love South Africa. They refer to the things that they can take in on a picture, on a photo. Okay, the physical stuff. Loving South Africa is loving the future of the people of this region. Saying that you have a desire to achieve sort of thing. You achieve this. The people want to achieve this. That's how we see your love for the country. Your love must be based on what is it you want to bring on board in order to achieve what. And you cannot hide yourself. You cannot hide yourself so that we cannot see what are your interests. That's the thing. Everybody else cannot hide themselves. What are their interests? We can see that, okay, these are interests, these are interests. So we're not having the same interest currently. We're not having the same interest. Okay, so in that particular case, South Africa is almost like it's got a Mozambique feel in terms of the economical structure. It's just that South Africa has got more diverse, different people, there's different views that can be combined together, and more solid in terms of nationalism. In terms of nationalism, this we understand as a rainbow nation. The idea of rainbow nation is a cool idea. If innovated properly, it can be a very good idea. Okay, it can be a very good idea. But if people they cannot hold on to it with the actual right principles that goes with it, then it's gonna go out of hand. Then it's a loss. It's a big loss, because that's what makes the country as it is. Otherwise, the 10 years, 15 years down the line, 30 years down the line, we might be having every province becoming its own country, whatever. I mean, what prevents that from happening? You see? So, if we hold that tight and we're able to put the right principles to it, and those right principles has something to do with the equality of people. Equality of people. That should be the principle that hold this together, to say the people need to be understood as we are equal before the economy. You see, sometimes say we are equal before the law, but yeah, we are clearly sure that we're not equal before the law. It's a concluded thing, okay? So now we go to the second one, the economy. So we need also be equal before the economy. I think being equal before the economy is what spells true compatriotship. Yes. That I do not understand if you feel how nice you feel nice when you have a lot of food and somebody does not have food. I don't understand that. I don't get it. What's the point? Somebody else knows very well that these people don't have food, and me, I have lots of food. Do you enjoy that? You enjoy that. It's nice. Hi. We enjoy different things in life. I don't know. You have tons and tons and tons of hectares of land. But there's somebody who's homeless because they don't have land. Piece of land. We enjoy loco and I enjoy that. You feel like enjoyment of that. It's nice. Yeah. That's not life. That's not how life must be. Your enjoyment receptors. I. Let's not make sure. Your receptors of what seems to be enjoyable, it's questionable. Because in a normal situation of a human being, you must enjoy more when everybody else is at peace, or when everybody else flourishes, when everybody else is at a certain equation in terms of equality of life. You must enjoy that if you're like a normal human, in a normal way of humans. If you don't enjoy that, you enjoy to have more and the others have nothing, your enjoyment receptors are pointing somewhere different from how they must be pointing. If we want to make this country successful, let's share the wealth of this country. Let's share the resources. Let's have a conversation around how do we eat together? Not others die of hunger, you eat more food. That's not cool. Young people, let's work on creating means of income at this point. If you're listening to this video right now, this is what you need to take from it. Find out if you can be able to create an income that you can be able to generate it from wherever you are. Maybe on your cell phone, on your laptop. It's possible today to do that. You can start a business that you can run from anywhere you are. You're not obligated to go somewhere. I'm talking about business. I'm not talking about a job, okay? And this is not for everybody. This is not for everybody. This is extremely important. It's not for everybody. Is for those that find themselves at the situation where they know that they can contribute more when they are in that arrangement. It's not for so that you can chill, so that you can have more chilling time, or so that you can relax and, I don't know, have more time to corrupt your body and your mind. Is so that you can be able to produce more. If it can help you to produce more, to be productive when you are in that type of arrangement, then go ahead and do it. But if it cannot make you productive, please stay at the social space, which is the office, which is the work arrangement somewhere. I don't know, there, wherever where you work, where you can be within a social space, if that makes you work better and produce more. This is very important what I'm saying. It's very important, please, to note that. Because I've seen many people think, oh no, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this. And now you realize that, oh no, that space don't work for me. This is the space that works for me. So if the space of working from anywhere you are works for you, that arrangement, I'm saying you need to therefore take initiatives in terms of creating that sort of thing going forward, and do that. If you do, you can do this in order to be able to have some form of freedom and productivity. But also you need to do it if you are in a situation where you need to create resources, because you need to create resources and put some resources. And we don't want to be in the same situation of like last time where we had people, they did not, example I gave in 2020, where people, they loot the malls and they go around breaking the malls and the shops. They take food because they could not have food. If they knew that this was going to happen and they had stocked up like those that have stocked up, then nobody was going to loot. So I'm saying, instead of stocking up food, I'm not talking about stocking up food right now. I'm talking about stocking up on income sustainability, creating a sustainable income channel. Channels, as many channels as possible, or a certain channel that you know is completely cloud-based. Cloud-based. That's my tip, and that's what I talk to for young people. I'm talking about the people who will inherit the future, not the people who will get pensions and then that's it. I'm talking about the people who will handle the future going forward, because it's going to be hard to handle the future going forward if you're not taking means in that way, and you will thank me later. Start a business that is digital, that is based on the cloud. Your children would need that. See you around.